There we go. Fine. Technical difficulties. Power first, Clove second, Scotty and Newgard in third, fourth. Delvin DiFrancesco right around in fifth after pitch following the Connor Daly crash. Let me go check my puppy. Welcome. Welcome. To the shit show of a stream. There we go. There we go. There we go. Moongard on a mission. It's his third overtake so far early in the race. He was the pole setter until that sixth lap. Penalty for changing an engine. Well, what was it? Pato? Pato falling like a rock. Electrical issue on Pato's car. Pato is at least limping. Maybe silent with that power issue. All right, so we're following the back of the pack. We're looking at Herta, Marcus Armstrong, Kirkwood. McLaughlin Pillow. Oh, McLaughlin just kind of drove in the back of Pillow. That was back on the restart on lap 20, lap 21. Felix takes down DiFrancesco. DiFrancesco's dropped about 5, 6 spots since his restart 2 laps ago. And I believe that's Lundgaard. Oh, Pato might not make it to the pit. Lundgaard pushed DiFrancesco out. We didn't see it on screen, but Rossi also benefited from DiFrancesco's spill. There goes Pato. I would put an end to the day in the championship just based on these developments. Feel bad for Pato. Pato Award in the pits. Potential electrical failure. That pretty much should seal up the championship for Pillow, depending something catastrophic happening to him, as long as he finishes the race. Should be the end of the championship. So let's just enjoy the race that we have. So we have 2 crashes through the first quarter of the race. Ferrucci crashing on lap 3. Connor Daly on lap 14. Hurt is back there fighting with Marcus Armstrong, and he's got Rasmussen behind him. Hey, baby boy. Okay. Come on, we're watching racing. Okay. So Rosenquist is the leader on the second strategy. So you need to have a 30-second lead over 11th. He's at 12 now. So he needs to keep pulling out this lead as willpower without another caution. Uh, I don't see where Dixon's running. 17th, it looks like. Whatever Scotty's doing, follow suit on fuel mileage. This should be more of a tire race, though, with the heat. It is a record high in Portland today for this race. Felix has been looking good all weekend. He qualified like hell yesterday. Look at Jake Abel running in 10th. Good for him. Good for the kid. Prema running 6 and 7. Now I'm looking at the actual tower. It's Pato's pitch. So the control unit for the electronics in the car is shot on the 5 McLaren. And he's just dropping laps. And the best part about this stream is no commercials. Worst part is you have to listen to me talk. Well, we'll just keep turning laps here and see what we have happen. Graham Rahal running in 5th. Renus VK in 8th. Stingray Rob 9th. Jacob Abel 10th. With the Premons running 6, 7. Always going to root for Cal in my lot. When you call anyone a Muppet, let alone willpower, I will support you. So Power is stretching out his lead. He needs to get it to 30 seconds over 11th, and he's about halfway there. So he needs to keep pushing before pits come up here in a couple laps. I know the lead strategy is to do it in 2 if you can, but the green flags here have been, let's just say, short-lived. And Will does have a pretty good lead on the back of the field. He's up, he's up to 24 seconds to the trailing car, so he's about a pit stop ahead on the back of the field. So he needs to more or less double it. I don't know if he has the pace for that, but he's driving for a Penske contract is what he's out there doing. So he's just going to lay down lap after lap after lap. Good actually to see a Penske 1-3-4 right now. After the season they've had, I wouldn't imagine it's going to end this way, but good to see the progress and the consistency anyway. Stemming out from the Penske camp. Malukas qualified quick. He started 5th, and he's in 17th. Kirkwood 18th. Armstrong 19th. Herta back in 20th. Yeah, the Andretti team was the only team to test here, and they qualified like shit yesterday. So I wouldn't anticipate much out of the Andretti bunch today, especially where they're running right now. Yeah, Ericsson's in 23rd, Rasmussen in 21st. You got a whole bunch. Who is that? That's Kirkwood. Kirkwood just made a move going into turn 1. Is he over Malukas? So he just passed Malukas. Kirkwood's making a march to the front, car by car. Now he has to deal with Dixon. Good luck, mate. Okay. So we're closing in on a third of the race done. So let's see. Yeah, Power is pulling out on Pillow, but he's worried about that 11th place gap. Kirkwood just take down Simpson too. So the red tires seem to be a little bit better than the hard blacks. Who's on the hards? Pillow, Stingray, and DeFrancesco. I anticipate Reds once his hard stint is completed the rest of the way. What depends on the qualifications on who had to use the Reds for qualities. So we have three brackets, 1 through 5, 6 through 10, and Rosenquist on back on the different pit strategies. 5 through 10 pitted on the Ferrucci crash, 11 and back pitted during the Connor Daly incident. They are the second strategy is about 21 seconds back. So Will Power is probably going to push for another 8 laps and try and come out ahead of them on a pit cycle. Right now, he's clear on 23rd. So he's getting close to 20th spot, pulling out that 30-second lead as Will Power. And there's Alex Palou. And he's up to 23 seconds on Rosenquist. So he's pulling out a pretty good lead as Will Power. And we're just watching Alex Palou turn laps because it is IndyCar in 25. And they're talking to Connor Daly in the back right now about that crash he just had. So watch Palou turn laps. Sorry, I'm listening to the announcer. So they're interviewing Connor Daly in the back about the crash and whatever fault it was. Looks like that's Rossi. Can't see. I can't tell. Oh, that's a shot. Oh, that's the Connor Daly crash we just saw. Okay, so Rasmussen crashed Connor Daly in retaliation for something Connor did back, according to race control. That's why there's no penalty on Rasmussen so far. I don't think that they're going to tag Rasmussen this far after the crash if they weren't going to already. But these are the same guys in charge of Luke Sega incident with Erickson. So not entirely confident in their decision-making abilities. I think that's Rasmussen to the outside, man. I'll have him on the inside on this Turner got him. Rasmussen takes down Kiffin Simpson. We're battling the back of the field right here. We're in 17th, 18th territory. Louis Foster just ripped down the pits, it looked like. Pato down 8 laps. There goes your championship contention. So what's his lead at? He's at the 27 seconds, give or take, on Rosenquist. So Will Power's in close to the lead he needed. So they're still talking about Connor Daly and Christian Rasmussen. So let's see if we can get any other information about what's going on over there. Let's pull up lap times. Let's pull up some stuff. My apologies, I'm being late today. But if you haven't seen, I have a new house. So busy moving. Will Power's lead is getting really close to that 30-second barrier on 10th. McLaughlin just pulled down the pit out of 5th place. No, Scotty was running on 3rd. We're starting to see the leaders pit on lap 35. Scotty comes out at the back of the pack, so that should give Will Power a lot of good timing cues in his team of when they can actually pick. Because he just merged out in 22nd, which I think is the last car in the lead lap. Here's Will Power right now. Let's do last lap tonight. Let's see who's turning laps. Newgarden just put down a 101 flat on his in lap. There goes below. He's all clean stuff for the 10 DHL. Lundgaard takes down Rosenquist in the merge with Will Power. So Will Power definitely had that down to the T on that merge. Will Power should be on the red tires now. I don't think he ever took them off. Yeah, Will Power is on the soft reds. Will Power fighting for the lead in 9th place, but that's how always back in 6th now. Lundgaard on his ass, though. I would not bet against Mr. Lundgaard. Newgarden's in the pits. Kevin Simpson just laid down the fastest lap at a 101 flat. Well, for the moment, we have to celebrate Graham Rahal lead in. We got Prema on the podium. Wolf Prema's on the podium on lap 37. Renus VK running in 4th. So, I'm a root for the top 4, but they will have to pit here shortly because they pitted there in the Ferrucci incident on lap 2/3. Ferrucci wasn't on lap 2. Leader was on lap 3. That was early in the race. So here we go. This is the Will Power merge after pit road. And he just gets there by a car length. Good for them on the Penske team. Looking like everything's clicking up in Portland. Will Power to the inside. There goes VK. They said he pitted on lap 9, so Renus has to be coming down. He did spin earlier on lap 8, which would have led to his pit. So, Rahal, Ayala, Schwartzman, Power, VK, Lundgaard, Rosenquist, Rossi, Abel, Dixon, top 10. Kirkwood, Armstrong, Malukas, Rasmussen, Herta through 15. Siegel, Pillow, Newgarden through 18. Erickson, Foster, McLaughlin, Stingray, Robin, DeFrancesco through 23. Kim and Simpson's running 24th, and the other three cars are out. I'm saying the other three cars are out. I don't know if Pato's actually out. He did have a electrical issue with his control panel, and they did bring down the other McLaren team, but I don't see him on pit road right now. So I'm going to assume he's out there turning laps on the track. Will Power just flying by people. I don't know who that slow car is. Slow car is very slow, though. Slow car is dangerously slow. I want to say that was Delvin DeFrancesco, but that might be rude on my part to assume it was him. But it looks a lot like it was Delvin DeFrancesco. Houston Simpson still put down fastest lap time. He just had a 101.1, below a 101.3. Stingray Robbo a 101.1. They are moving at the back of the pack. It actually looks like the leaders are slower. Now we're 40 laps done here. Over a third of the way through. We're down through one green flag pitch sequence for the leaders. They made the lap 35. We're looking at lap 70, 75 for the final pits. I would imagine they want to get to lap 75. Who is that? Can't tell. Jacob Babel or DeFrancesco? Looks like it was Jacob Abel just pitted. Scott Dixon around Renus VK for 6. Graham Rahal still in the lead. Will Power 10 seconds behind. It looks like Graham Rahal just pulled into the pits. Yeah, and here comes Power, Lundgaard, Rosenquist, Rossi. Dixon will now be in 5th. VK Kirkwood, Armstrong, Malukas, Rasmussen, the new top 10 now. Rahal's pitted. And that should be all the leaders. Pelot dropped to 11th through that pit sequence. Something must have happened. The middle of this pack is very interesting. Malukas through Newgarden, so 9 through 14. Interesting bunch of cars in there. Christian Lundgaard with a second top 3, and this one looks like it might stick longer than halfway around. But Pato's issue does raise concerns for Christian and Nolan as well. Pelot up to 9th. Pelot just took down Malukas to 8th in the back of the field. Okay, so Lundgaard's pretty much just going to ride around until Will Power still needs to go on the hard tires. Without a series of cautions that are extraordinarily beneficial, he will lose a lot of pace. All right, so we're down 43. We're about to complete lap 43 and take lap 44 when power takes the line. Below about 15 seconds back. All right, so we're doing a camera spot on turn one and how close it is. If you watch practice, you know the camera shot they're doing with Jack Harvey. Okay, we're closing in on halfway. We're still 10 laps away from halfway. Blow up the eighth, chasing down Marcus Armstrong. Yeah, if Palou wants to chase down Floyd's record, he needs to get on that fucking horse. He needs the victory. He wants the victory. He has to have the victory. Alex Palou takes down Marcus Armstrong for seventh place. So yeah, they're pretty much rooting for Palou to win. Up in the commentary booth, can't blame him. Kirkwood running in sixth. Good for him in the Andretti bunch. Dixon doing Scott Dixon things. Alexander Rossi may be the driver of the day to keep an eye on because he missed the Fat Six. He still doesn't have a fresh set of stickers. If there's a caution after lap 80 and Rossi doesn't get fucked on pit sequence, I would anticipate Rossi to be where he is now in contention for a podium. Will Power. Once he got a 4 second lead up on Lundgaard, yeah, but Lundgaard's not going to let him get away. Well, he's pull away. Lundgaard's going to keep him in sight. Lundgaard has the pace. He wasn't pole sitter. I actually think McLaren may be playing a head game with Penske, saying, "Go ahead and take that lead. We got fresh tires and a faster engine." But you want to see Will Power win. You want to see Scott Dixon win. You want to see the old timers get their back, especially Will Power can win right before he's about to get axed from Penske. That would be good. I don't think they should really move on from. I just don't think they have much of a choice. I feel like getting Malukas now is more beneficial for the next decade than letting him go anywhere else. I do believe David Malukas is one of those drivers in the future. Although he is the last running car on the lead lap, as I say that, so that's somewhat depressing. Oh, Newgard in 10th, Ray Hall 11th, Colin Herta running in 12th. I can't see this timetable fast enough, so I'm throw it up over here. Siegel 13th, Louis Foster 14th, Scotty McLaughlin 15th. The Prema boys, Isla and Schwartzman 16th and 17th. Connected. Erickson's running in 18th, Stingray Rob 19th, DeFrancesco is 20th, Kiffin Simpson 21st. VK Abel is round out the top 24 in the running cars on the track. No update has been given on Pato Award at all. He's only at 10 laps down, so he must be on the track circulating somewhere. And what do we got going on with this time? Oh, is that Lundgaard in the pits? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Tell me everything's okay. I don't think he can do it from here. He'll have to make another stop anyway. Taking forever. Okay, that was a weird camera situation. They missed the Lundgaard pit, but Christian's going to come back out. And he's right behind the Premas. So he's riding around 16, 17, 18, give or take. Siegel's out. Hurt is in. Herder had a clean pit stop, everyone. Colin Herder had a clean pit stop. Holy shit. And he beats Nolan Siegel out. He's going to merge in. It looks like there's Pato. Pato looks like he's riding around behind Ericsson, I believe. And here comes Will Power on the ass end of all those cars that just pitted. Happy for Colin Herder having a clean pit stop. That's huge. Rossi in second. Pelot's all the way up to fourth again. Kirkwood and Armstrong just hit the pits. Dixon and Pelot riding together. So the commentators are glazing the Alex Pelot is going to win the championship train, but I think we've all known that since Indy, whatever. Hopefully Fox comes with better talking points. At least something to rejuvenate it. We don't need to hear the same sales pitch every fucking commercial break. We know Alex Pelot is the greatest driver in the league right now. Just there's so many other greats to talk about. Dixon into the pits. Rossi into the pits. So Powers put over 20-second lead on Pelot. Interesting. He pulled out, he's 15 seconds on that lead over that entire stint. Yeah, 20 seconds is a pretty big hit, but if you're going to give me 60 green flag laps, I'll get Pelot to take down a portion of a second and lap. I just can't imagine we're not going to have the caution. So Rossi came out on 13th behind Rosenquist and ahead of Dixon on that latest pitch sequence. Scott McLaughlin back up to 5th. Good for him. Yeah, the Andretti guy's getting beat up. And that's crazy because Kirkwood's been overtaking a lot under green. Something else has to be going on. I've been watching Kirkwood's pass people. And they're talking to Pato's crew chief right now about that failure, and it just is a failure. I think we're running around. I heard it. No, this is Kirkwood.